Well, the bomb got dropped upon us all, and the list of all unknowns is tall. But if there's anything we know, our stubbornness has shown, we'll climb up after any fall. We know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. Leftover ashes in the sky, and the nations, all they do is fight. Yeah, the crown broke all our trust, so I guess it's up to us to save whatever's left of life. We know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. But we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. Oh, we know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from.
Hello everyone, this is the Nameless One, and tonight we are going to be continuing the Lost Memories campaign. I have here with me tonight Cameo, Argo, Cosmo, and Fair. Had also massive brain farts. Before I get started, I just want to remind everybody, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. If you use the super chat feature, I will read those at the end of the session for the night. And stay tuned tomorrow for session 1 of Heart of Darkness. So, go ahead. And does anybody actually remember last session other than me?
Somewhat.
Remember, we were trying to go through more rooms, and the party got a little split up.
I remember some stuff.
I remember part of it where it turns out they, damn, why did I just forget which team? Okay, one of the teams kidnapped me, but used my kidnapping as a way to gain dragon allies.
The,
Why?
FPC.
Okay, yes, FPC. We also, I think it was Ash who found the guy who was part of the video. He's the guy who
the
also
old guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, frozen time guy. Yeah.
He
Muddy and
he was
I
part
found.
of the video, and he owned the office. He might have been the one who owned the building, but you try to leave with him, but he turned into like a desk thingy.
I thought he died.
No, I don't think it's death though. I think it's like because of weird time on the and the magic fuckery, he turned into an item. I don't think he died. He just turned into an item because in the other room we had other objects that when you push them through different time zones, they turn into different things. So like, oh jeez, my brain is just like it's not functioning right now. I cannot think further.
You okay?
I do also
No.
know that Muddy and I found and were in the area with I think it's the confirmation about the Kelpie project. I think that was last session, right?
I think we learned more about it last session.
Yeah.
You learned more about it.
Yeah.
I don't think
And-
any of us are okay here.
And then also there's an event that did not happen between Muddy and I.
Oh, honey, if you really think I did not keep notes on that, you're wrong.
The event.
Just be glad my character was not there.
Okay.
The event did not happen. You have no proof.
So, for
That was beautiful.
we're going to start with Shieldwing, actually. Shieldwing was the one leaving the projector room. So, fair.
Yes.
Are you alive? Before I start this.
Yeah, how can I help you?
So, you remember you were in the projector room, you saw the little
Yeah,
projection and
in the projector room. About to leave.
yes. So, as you step out into a space that looks like one absolutely gargantuan room. The floor and ceiling are white, but you can't see any walls from where you're standing. Also, the door closes behind you and there is no door.
Is there any kind of echo?
Yes, there is an echo. It seems about like you would expect for an expansive room of this size. Like, the ceiling is standard height, but there's like nothing around you that you can tell.
Suppose I press into the darkness.
It's not dark.
Well,
It is just white.
dark enough. I press into the room.
So, after what feels like, who knows, hours, days, it's been a while you've been walking, you start to notice, like, something on the outer fields of your vision, like, just outside of your peripheral, you see movement and things like that. What do? It's like those shadows at the very edge of your vision that you sometimes see.
They're not making any sounds?
Not that you can detect. You can roll perception to try and detect harder, but as of right now, you are not detecting any sound.
Well, I need to detect harder. Let me open this up. I don't remember what my perception is. Well, I think that's a crit.
So you almost missed it over the sound of you because seems to be at that far of a distance, but there seems to be almost a liquid sound of something moving that is wet. Kind of, if I would describe it, imagine the image of molten candy being poured and that kind of liquidy feel to it, but it's a sound.
Interesting.
Hello? Is anybody there? Show yourself.
Your voice echoes endlessly through the room until it fades out, but you don't get any reply. You do note that you do not see any more of the peripheral somethings. And on further inspection, you also do not hear the sound any further.
Guess I keep moving.
Okay. So, up ahead, as you continue moving, you've been moving again for a little while, and you see something that you can only describe as the one and only landmark you have seen so far. And it is a black splotch that appears to be on the floor and ceiling ahead of you, with something kind of suspended in between. You're not quite close enough to be able to tell if there's... What's that?
So there's about to be some Dark Souls bosses over here.
Well, you're not quite close enough yet to tell if there's any actual object or if it's leaking or something. What?
Just to be safe, I pull out my sword and advance slowly.
Okay. As you approach, you do note that it is in fact what appears to be a thick, black, gooey substance that has... It's hard to tell if it's coming from the floor and hitting the ceiling or coming from the ceiling and hitting the floor at this point, because it appears to be moving in both directions, but doesn't seem to actively be spreading at the moment. The tendrils that are reaching towards the different halves of the stain, the bottom and top, are primarily focused around the center, and there seems to be a large amount of flat space around both. What do?
Well, there's enough room for me to get around it?
I mean, you still have not seen any
Oh,
walls.
big room. Yeah. No walls, nothing.
In fact, at this point, you're not even sure how the space is holding itself up. It has been that long since you have seen a wall or any kind of support structure. So as far as you know, you're just walking into an area that is an infinite ceiling and floor. And this is the first landmark you have found. Also, go ahead and roll a quick perception +2. So you should be rolling against a 15. Ow.
Got some damn with the rolls.
Not bad, not bad. So you do, listening as you get closer, you do notice that this seems to be a very similar sound, though slightly louder to what you heard earlier. This one's not as quiet, which is why the +2, but you do recognize it as the same, if not at least similar sound.
Yeah, I feel like I'd recognize the sound if I heard it once.
So, what do you plan
What
to do?
in his name is this?
The puddle doesn't seem to have a forthcoming answer.
If I just walk to the edge, keeping, Just enough distance not to be too close.
Go ahead and roll a dexterity. Or actually a dodge. Roll a dodge.
Ooh,
You actually have skill for that, so.
I don't. I need to go look at something then. Give me a stop acquiring my computer.
Character sheet is being searched for, so.
Yeah. Nowhere it is. Anywhere near it. Trying to get away with not needing it for now.
I mean, you could send yourself a picture of it,
Will that work?
because it is a. You can export it as like a PNG or a PDF.
Opening. It says dodge 7. I don't remember how to
You roll against a 7.
do that.
That is your skill number. You are
Can you hear
rolling
me?
Yeah. You are rolling against the 7. Yes, dodge sucks that much. Let's see if your luck holds out.
Against 7.
No, that is not.
One
That
the
is,
spectrum to the other.
Dice Maiden said no. So, a long, black, spindly arm reaches out of the puddle, grabs you by the hoof, and starts dragging you in. You can roll one strength check to see if you can escape. You are too close to the puddle to attack or anything like that. This is knee-jerk, kind of jumping away. You even got a roll because you had combat reflexes.
Are you kidding me?
I believe Dice Maiden said no.
I guess 2 good rolls is all I get.
So, as you attempt to struggle, you are promptly yanked into the puddle, which feels thick, tarry, and cold. Now, time for the dragons. Where were the dragons? Dragons were planning to leave the amphitheater.
Yes.
I don't remember what I actually said, so we're going to pretend there's a backstage exit and the door you came in through.
Okay.
So, what do? Give me just a sec. There we go.
Actually, make sure Doc is with us before we leave. Because holy shit, this is going to be a shitstorm.
That's pretty accurate.
We have to find the others.
Agreed.
I doubt the door that we went through before is going to send us back to the old spot, so we should go through the other door, right? It's going to be a gamble regardless.
Okay. Give me just a second. I am making a couple notes. Okay, so for you two, as you make your way through, You, when you step through the door, you can only loosely describe it as a hallway. Have you ever seen, like, a long kind of box that somebody's twisted the one end while holding the other still? How it kind of turns into a spiral almost?
Yeah.
That's what you're looking at. There is also what appears to be water running through it, but not touching any surface. It is like streams of water that seem to be still but not frozen, just kind of floating in midair through the thing. There is also what appears to be the remains of a single pony, as far as you can tell, on close to your end, but it looks like whatever happened here hit them in the face as their head is submerged in one of the water things, and it has no skin or any other thing resembling flesh.
Gross.
Oh, snap. I want to get closer and examine it beyond the head smash to see.
Oh no, the skull is entirely intact. That's just all there is a skull.
Yeah.
So basically think of it as if they went and dunked their face in a pool of acid, and that's about what you've got. Like cartoony acid, not hyper-realistic acid. If that makes sense. So what...
Yeah, that makes sense.
It looks like if you are careful, you should be able to traverse the hallway without too much of an issue. There is a switch about halfway through, though. And at the other end appears to be a pair of double doors that at this point are completely upside down.
I wonder if we're going to need the switch for the double doors or not. Let's first check the doors before we flick the switch, because we wouldn't be sure what it's meant for.
Sounds good.
Okay. So... are you two working together to get across, or are you trying to cross separately?
She can't really fly yet, right?
Not well.
I mean, yeah.
She is capable of flight unassisted, but dexterous flight or any kind of flight maneuver is not her forte.
So I'll probably help her.
Okay, so you two are working together?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead and roll. Both of you roll dexterity +1. It would be +2, but you gotta lug dock you through as well. You have the handicap.
Okay.
I cried. I just cried.
Okay. So I really only needed one of you to pass, since one of you is also tiny. And you just barely managed to skim by that one. So you managed to avoid the stream of supposedly deadly fluid. I said it was water mostly because it is just clear and water-like, but you are not entirely certain what it is, because you know water doesn't do what you're seeing.
Yeah.
You are now at the door. What do?
I'm gonna examine the door.
It appears to be a door, not unlike, say, a hospital where you just kind of shove it and it opens. There doesn't seem to be any handles or locking mechanisms that you can tell.
Is it a sliding door?
No, you shove it. So it swings. So, you're going to shove the door, or are you going to go check the switch?
Well, it doesn't look like we need the switch. Pretty sure we could just shove it open.
Okay. So shove the door. When you shove the door swings open, and on the other side are what look like statues made entirely of junk that have been frozen in various states of stabbing or dismembering something. The somethings are now very badly rotted corpses of what used to be, by all appearances, unicorns, zebras. There's a few Pegasi and a couple Kirin. You can tell by skeletal structure. I mean, they're not that hard to tell the difference between, so.
Okay. Well then.
From this angle in the room, you cannot tell what exactly may or may not have happened because all you see is a total of 3 of them brutally stabbing the majority of, like, the visible unicorns, and the Pegasi is being impaled by something from behind those 3, and the reason you know there's Kirin is because one of their skulls has rolled pretty close to the door. So, not exactly the best view, but it's also not the... Roll dexterity real quick.
Both of us?
Whoever's immediately in front of the door. If you are both immediately in front of the door, then both of you.
Yeah.
We'll wait for Cosmo to roll.
Yeah, sorry.
You do manage to avoid getting hit in the face by the door as it swings close.
Yay.
It swings back and forth a couple times and then comes to a rest. It appears to be spring-loaded.
Okay.
Huh.
I will note that none of the things on the other side of the door seem to be actively moving.
Was there any rotting flesh smell that we got from there?
What's that?
Was there any rotting flesh smell that we got from there?
Nope.
Hmm.
Despite how decayed the corpses looked, you did not smell anything.
Okay, if we open the door and we see that again, we're gonna have to sneak past that. And hopefully none of those things trigger. Shit.
Yeah.
I shake Doc a bit. Why do you have to be blue-brained?
I don't know when he comes back, so good luck with that.
I think it's like a month or something. But like, in character. Loop sure as fuck doesn't know that. It's just like, eh.
So, what you gonna do?
On the count for you. Can I examine the room to see if there's like any doors or maybe hidden
So you're
anything else hidden.
You're going to go into the room?
Not by my. I'm just going to look in and see what else is in the room.
So, from where you can tell, that is the majority of what you can see from the room, because they are kind of in the way of, like, your field of vision. And you're standing up what is technically the ceiling of this hallway, so the door is a bit higher up in the air than it should be. You're just kind of lucky at this point that you didn't have to climb to get to the door.
I'll just examine and just wait for now.
So you're going to wait before jumping in there?
Yeah, because I don't want to get separated from anybody else.
Okay. And what does Moop want to do?
I look in.
Is it bad that I was like half waiting for somebody to say we yeet Doc through the door to see what happens?
Wow!
Oh my gosh, I will never do that. I would probably throw something else in there. I have a pretty large collection of throwing shit. I will not throw in Doc. I'm pretty sure we could sneak through. Let's just try that. Let's try that. Let's try sneaking through.
If you have
Not just
stealth, then roll stealth. If you do not, then roll dex -2.
Alrighty. Stealth. I do have stealth. Sweet.
Okay, there you
Oh.
go. Woo! 5+
So,
I die!
Moop is singing her theme song as she sneaks through the room. You know,
I don't have a
drunk
theme
style.
song. I'm gonna...
Let's see, and yes, Cosmo, you do the sneak.
Yeah.
So, despite Moops singing her theme song as she attempts to sneak her way through, nothing seems to be reacting. The room is slightly larger than you originally were able to see, and there are more of the trash sculpture things that have been frozen in various states of murder, I guess. They're currently stabbing, dismembering, decapitating, you name it. They are finding ways to violently murder what are now very long dead ponies. And, ponies, zebras, and Kieran.
Okay.
You do see one other Kieran in the room.
Huh?
Dead Kieran.
Okay. Just another random Kieran.
Yes.
I wonder what happened here.
I don't think.
There is another door at the far end of the room that you were unable to see due to, we're just gonna call them trash sculptures being in the way. There is, however, at the bottom of the door, what appears to be a growing black stain. Very slowly growing, but it is growing. What do?
We can see it.
Yes, you can see it.
Oh! Fuck is that? I swear we've seen something like that before.
Can we roll area knowledge? No, that's for post Equestria.
I mean, you can still roll it. It may give you information, it may not. You never know.
That's fair. All right then.
Why do you feel like this is tied to that one thing that we saw in the visions of that thing that they were trying to hold back? But it's also not tied to that at all. My brain is just not.
For knowledge.
To your knowledge, you have heard of things that do stuff like this, but you're not sure if this is related to those stuff and things. But you know, this place is just all kinds of fucked up. You've never seen a ceiling that attempts to be a floor without, something forcibly throwing it. It's just all kinds of fucked up, man. That's about the gist of what you've got there, Cosmo. This has been more of a mindfuck than you were prepared for.
Mindfuckery.
So, what do?
Is there a way to avoid it?
It is on the floor.
Yeah. Me and
that the door is also another swinging door. This one is a singular door instead of a double door.
Okay. Moo, do you think we can fly dock across this as well?
Ow.
I mean, come on. I know my flying is bad, but it's not that bad.
No, I'm just trying to be realistic because I'd rather not get my claws stuck in this.
I think we gotta more worry about Doc. Especially because he kind of is stuck to the floor unless we pick him up. Or rather, we pick him up.
That's why I suggested flying.
Yeah, I should be able to.
Okay, so we'll fly dock across.
Okay. So, I'm not even going to have you roll anything. You don't have to. You guys make it over the stain and into the next room with ease. But before we do anything else with you guys, it is now the deer's turn.
Deer.
Yes.
In lieu of remembering what I actually described previously, other than the picture above, there is a door at each end of the hallway, besides the safe. The safe is now shut and sealed again. What do? There is one door with stairs leading up to it above the safe, and the other is at ground level at the far end of the hallway.
I think I'll go up the stairs.
Okay. So you go up the stairs. There's a pair of double doors. The ceiling's kind of low, but for the most part, it's nothing suspicious. Are you going to open said door?
Sure.
Also, Muddy is able to follow simple commands, as in follow. Nothing like, you can't tell him to do this or do that. It's just, you can tell him to follow to prevent, having to touch.
Yeah.
But as you step through the door, it's very dark on the other side. Go ahead. I believe you have a thing for this, actually. If not, then roll perception.
Gadget night vision goggles.
Dark vision counts, right?
Yes. So,
Yes.
after several moments of adjusting to the sudden lack of light, you see that this room appears to have been some sort of office, maybe? The indistinct inky blackness further in is a bit disturbing, considering that dark vision should be able to help you see that. Or see through that, that is. What do?
I'll look around, but not go into the inky part yet.
So, we are going... I believe the version of dark vision you have is not seeing colors in the darkness, so you are seeing a kind of monotone. We're going to go... Given that everybody knows by now, we're going to go with a green as like your average like night vision goggles kind of color. So
Walks in the room, night vision eyes turn on.
I will say that having experienced those, it is a very two-dimensional feeling vision.
And vouch, very two-dimensional.
So it also
perception does not exist.
it is also not too great about things that would be shadowy. Sometimes they get worse, or sometimes if things have light, it gets even harder to see. All in all, it is just very difficult to see using these. But the reason I am bringing this up is because you keep seeing things moving. You cannot get a distinct read on what exactly it is you are seeing moving, because every time you try to focus on it, it seems to be gone.
Oh gosh.
It is almost like something is taunting you that it knows you cannot quite see it.
Was it more toward the inky parts, or is it like staying away from certain parts?
For the most part, it seems to be wherever you're not particularly looking, just enough to be an attention grab, and you have to look that direction.
I'll look around a little bit more, but try not to dwell too long.
Okay. So as you shuffle around the room, you note that this place is in a lot more obvious disrepair. Like there's papers strewn everywhere that I'm gonna tell you now you're not gonna be able to read in the dark. There are also drawers that have been ripped out of the desk and thrown about. Chairs are toppled over. There seems to be smashed somethings all over the place. You can assume that it's some sort of crockery or like glasses or jars or something like that. There's also a number of strewn about like pencils and things. All kinds of random office supplies. For the most part,
important looking.
It's very difficult to tell. There's not any object that looks important, but you can't really read the papers very well with your night vision, so it's hard to tell if anything written on it is important, and the sheer volume of stuff strewn about the floor is there's no guarantee that if you just grab a random hoofful that you're actually going to be able to get anything worth anything.
I've got a couple just in case.
Okay. So, you have grabbed up a hoofful of papers. What do now?
Can I see if there are any keys in here? If there are no keys, I'll leave.
You can either roll scrounge or search if you have it. If not, perception -2. Actually, -4 right now. Because you are looking for small, specific object in a room full of small, specific objects being thrown all over that have been thrown all over the place, so.
Not to mention you're trying to do it through night vision.
I'm channeling my luck. I channel luck.
Okay.
I have luck. So I get to reroll. I think it's reroll 3, right? Or how does that go again?
Good question. Let me... GURPS luck advantage. Let's see what it says on the wiki. A whole lot of... Here we go. Luck. What? How many points do you have in it?
I think it was a...
Do you have luck, extraordinary luck, or ridiculous luck?
Just regular luck.
So once per hour, you can reroll a single bad die. May reroll a single bad die roll twice and take the best of the 3 rolls. Okay, so if I'm understanding this correctly, and we are going to rule with this, as you need to roll 2 more times.
2 more, yeah.
And you
all 3.
Yes. No, like you re-roll all 3 2 more times.
Oh, all 3. Okay.
You basically make 3 checks, and you take the best one.
Okay.
Okay. And 1 more. Okay, so you rolled a 9.
Cool.
Now, if you're planning to use that again, set a timer for an hour, because that is actually how that is supposed to work.
8:45. Got it.
So, doing a bit of scrounging around, you do find what appears to be a very fancy skeleton key. Like, this thing is ridiculous. It has 4 parts, forming a kind of X shape. And each part has what appears to be very lumpy shapes. Because night vision sucks.
Take it.
But you now have 2 choices. Unless you are just going to stand in this room and not do anything. You can either walk through the inky blackness, or you can go back the way you came and hope that it spits you out somewhere less unfriendly looking.
I'll give key to Muddy, say hold this, and then I'll take a couple steps into ink.
Okay. So we talk in just 2 steps.
Enough to poke through, look around a little.
Okay.
I want to see what's going on first.
Roll strength.
Oh gosh. Pass by 2.
You just barely... Actually, hold on. I do it this way. Yes, you just barely managed to pull back at something or several somethings, or who knows, at this point it could be 1 thing, it could be a dozen things, or it could be half a thing. Attempt to yank you into the darkness. You just narrowly escaped. Mostly because they crit failed.
Walk out. Alright, Muddy, we're leaving. Right away.
Okay, so you're going back to the other door?
Yep, no looking back.
Fair. Hello?
Hello.
Okay. Just making sure you're there. So, you, while you were being dragged through the goo, for a moment you lost consciousness. You wake up, and of all people, Nebula is sitting across from you, kind of just staring at you.
Well,
You thought I forgot about her.
Well, I
Neb-
forgot about her.
Nebula nods and just kind of sits there and doesn't really say anything in particular.
Where am I?
She looks around and says, "In a room.
How long have I been here?
You just got here."
How long have you been here?
She looks thoughtfully and says, "A time."
How did you get here?
When everybody went through doors, I decided to go through one as well. And then I was here. And she indicates the walls and says, "I can't get out." The first thing you note
What does the room look like?
This appears to be a blank box. There is another stain on the ceiling and one growing from the corner, but there's no indication that anything else got in or out at any point.
How did we get here?
She
Last thing I remember is that black goo. Ugh.
She
So
points a hoof at the
cold.
ceiling and says, "You fell out of there." Which kind of, her story lines up because you are pretty much directly beneath it.
Well, that would make sense.
She,
I came from there.
Right?
You said there was some in the corner?
Yes. It seems to have been growing very slowly but steadily since you woke up.
Move over to investigate it.
Nothing seems to happen this time. It does seem to see the same substance that you took an unfortunate dive through previously.
I poke it with my sword.
So it moves oddly, but kind of like depresses, but it doesn't go all the way through. It seems to have like surface tension almost that your sword is not going through.
Just poking it, you know.
Yes.
I try to touch it with my hoof.
It is very cold and not necessarily slimy. Kind of think of it like pressing through almost a sticky kind of rubber feeling. This time it does break the surface tension and it just kind of suctions around your hoof. It doesn't draw you in, it doesn't push you out, it just kind of does.
This stuff seems to be alive somehow, some way.
Nebula shakes her head and says that the things that come out of it are, but not the goo.
Well, I don't necessarily mean like alive as in living.
She looks
but
confused.
alive as in... there's something about it. It grabbed me and sucked me in. Next thing I know, I was here.
She shakes her head again and says that something seems to be moving through it. She says that in a previous room that she saw one sneak out and move a chair before slamming the door shut and then diving into a puddle.
Could it be Kelpies?
Did somebody say puddle?
She shakes her head and says that Kelpies are not shaped like that.
Oh, It could be some derivative of a Kelpie. I mean, this place was used, as far as I can remember or tell, to experiment. Maybe they found something else out.
She looks pretty oddly assured that you are wrong about the Kelpie thing, and says something about them being just wrong.
You've actually seen it, so I'll take your word for it.
So, what do?
Any ideas on how we're gonna get out of here and find the others?
She looks at you, then looks at the puddle and says, "You came out of one. We could maybe go in one." She almost sounds very unsure of this, too. Like, this is the most unsure you have heard her since you've known her.
You don't know any, like, teleportation spells or anything like that?
She looks at you and raises a back hoof, and you notice that, like, a chunk of her hoof is missing, like the actual, like, keratin portion. I think it's keratin.
Ah.
Oh, wow.
What happened?
She nods and says, "I was lucky not to be in the wall."
Yeah.
More.
Well, I mean, we can try it. The ooze. Is there any other areas that are big enough besides the ceiling?
The corner is rapidly growing to a proportion that you could fit one pony through at a time. It is seem to be picking up speed at which it is growing, though. So, whether you like it or not, you may end up going through that puddle.
Well, this stuff seems to be growing really quickly, so I think we don't have a choice.
She nods and says, "It's like a stain on." She kind of waves both her hoofs around at the place, and it's like, I don't know what to describe this as.
I don't either. This place is incoherent from its original form. Well, here goes nothing.
Okay. So
unceremoniously jump in.
This time it's a lot slower going since you are not being propelled through it. But you eventually find yourself moving along with some sort of unseen current. And as you begin to surface again, you kind of feel the surface tension slowly releasing on you as your head breaks the surface and you come face to face. Let's see. Do I still have his picture? Is it in here? Damn.
Daniel.
Give me just one moment. I'm going to find a picture of what I am talking about.
Has anybody ever wondered how long a moment is? What makes it a moment and not a specific length of time?
So, fair. You actually remember these things from a previous campaign. They could teleport each other. Is ringing any bells for you?
No, it isn't. I can't remember. What campaign are we talking about?
It would be the one that recently ended.
Oh, that one. No, I don't remember. Teleport each other brings no bells to me.
I thought I still had the picture saved. So...
Technical difficulties.
Yes, technical difficulties. No, not that. I need... Because it is on Roll20. Should be.
Keyword there is should.
Yep.
So, aren't you glad that I convinced you not to delete that?
Actually, it was in my library of images.
Ah, library. Still.
So, fair if you could, trying to figure out if there's a... Oh, that's not what I meant to do.
You want me to open Roll20?
Trying to see if I can copy and paste the image. Nope, that's not what I was hoping for. So, I'm gonna just turn on Discord stream so that I can show you guys real quick, because it's not wanting to cooperate
Grab
with
a
me.
screenshot of it.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
It just sounds like a bad idea, live streaming to YouTube and then live streaming to Discord.
Here we go. There.
Yeah, those things.
Familiar now.
Yes.
You
Face to
do-
face?
Yep. Face to face, and you get an overwhelming feeling of something is just horribly wrong about this creature. Like, they do not belong here. And there is not anywhere near here that they should belong. What do?
Is it reacting to my presence?
It seems just as shocked to see you as you are to see it at the moment. You have fully come out of the puddle and are currently standing on top of it.
Well, hello there, I say as I ready my sword.
You have surprise round, so you can make attack.
I'm not willing to see if this thing's friendly.
Good, because it isn't.
I didn't think it was. I know it wasn't, but...
Go ahead and roll to attack. I would honestly say that on an instinctual level, you would know this thing is not friendly. They are known as the heralds and what's the word?
I need to make sure on this real quick.
Heralds
Yes.
and servants of eldritch abominations. Yes, and it was unable to block. So roll damage.
Elation time.
I will also give you the
Huh?
chance to move. Also,
Max
that's
damage.
see. You do have it reeling now.
Do I have opportunity to strike again?
No, because it is its turn. It also has combat reflexes.
Right. A worthy opponent.
A worthy opponent that, if you can't block this, will hit you very hard. Can you block this?
I am looking. Oh, is there a skill for that?
There is. It should be in your melee where your sword is.
No. No block.
Block or
That's what
parry.
it is. Parry.
Because you can technically parry or dodge, and block is for shields. It's dumb. Okay. You are just barely able to block as it tries to take your head off with its claws. Also,
Oh
there's
my.
currently something poking at your underbelly. So,
There's something poking at my belly.
yep. If you remember, you weren't the only one that wanted out of that room,
Oh yeah, that's right.
and you're currently standing on the exit. So,
Sorry about that, Nebula. Kind of preoccupied at the moment.
if you remember, you didn't exactly have a choice in the matter, and neither does she, so you may want to either finish this guy off quickly, or, which, by the way, it is your turn, or you may end up getting toppled because the goo doesn't care where you're standing. It is depositing Nebula right there.
Mm-hmm.
You could also try moving to, like, one side or the other. I do not think that it will cost you any kind of action for that, because I know GURPS is weird, but I don't know if it's that
If there
weird.
is no penalty to moving out of the way or just stepping over like 1 foot, then of course I'm going to step over.
Yeah, I'll just... DM is ruling that I'm just gonna let you do that.
And I will attack again.
Okay. And let's see if he can parry you. Or I can throw the dice across the desk. He does manage to parry you.
Motherfucker.
With his second 9. Okay. So it is his turn. He is going to attack. He is getting dangerously close to critting you. Go ahead and roll the parry.
Dangerously close to crit. I don't like those words. I don't like those words.
Well, he started out, he rolled a pretty, it was like a 15, then he rolled 2 9s, and now he's rolled a 6. So if it keeps with this trend, you're about to get hit in the face really hard. You're about to get hit in the face really hard anyways. Don't forget your damage reduction from your armor. So, yes, 10 points of damage. Assume body.
Points. Assume body. Okay.
Make sure you check your damage reduction because you could.
That's what I'm doing. I'm checking their damage reductions. What type of damage is it?
Let's go with. I believe claws are normally either slashing or piercing, so we'll go with slashing.
Let's see.
He is basically trying to rake it across your face or torso or whatever. I just say face because it's more amusing of a mental image than, It's also more easily presented on a pony than it is a humanoid.
Yes. Head forward.
And massive.
Well, advantages. I don't have any thing that reduces the damage for your slashing. And the armor
Should be somewhere in the ballpark of like 5 points reduction.
I'm trying to see where it shows that, but I don't.
That should be up where you should see like a list of things, or it's like head, body, up at the top. It is
Yes,
normally
okay. 5.
So you cut that in half. You take 5 points of damage.
That is good. 5 is better than 10.
Yep.
That it is. That it is.
Fair can vouch. These things are dangerous.
Yeah. Very dangerous.
And you know, they were
But now-
doing the fucking with you guys and weren't expecting to be confronted face to face.
Yeah. So, I do believe it is my turn.
It is your turn. I'll go ahead and roll and see if he... Okay. And you hit. See if you can put some decent damage on him. Okay. And you do manage to kill him. Can you tell I dumbed
Kill
them
me.
down for this campaign?
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, GURPS is a very deadly campaign or system to begin with, so.
Yep. So,
I mean, that hit that he would have hit me with if I didn't have the damage reduction would have brought me to half, so.
the blade of your weapon is now stained permanently black.
Oh. Would you look at that? Well, I suppose I wouldn't figure that out until I try to clean the sword.
Yeah, but just making a note for you now so I don't
Is
forget
it
it
a
later.
uniform blackness or is it like splotchy blackness?
It's a splotchy blackness because you didn't, plunge the blade into his entire body. And you're carrying a broadsword.
Yep. It is broad, and it is a sword. Lots of surface area for splotches.
Yep. Everywhere that its blood was, your blade is now black. Nebula looks at the thing and again describes it as a stain, this time a stain on reality.
Something's not right here. These don't belong.
She nods and it's like, I've never seen it before, but I know you're right.
A just overwhelming sense of wrong.
You could also, now that you are thinking about it, you could feel like an unfettered malice towards you. You don't know if it's because you actually spotted it or if maybe there are other things besides this thing and this is just one that you pissed off. But you don't know what's going on. You just know this thing is just all kinds of wrong and evil and fucked up.
Yeah, let's hope we don't run into any more of those. What does the room look like? Or are we going to shift?
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and describe the room for you. So, have you played Portal 2?
I haven't played it, but I've seen gameplay of it.
Have you seen some of the, like, where the offices look like they're turning into jungle instead of offices?
No.
No? Well, you're basically getting that kind of vibe. Actually, Last of Us. Kind of a Last of Us, like, the nature is moving back in.
Nature reclaiming urbanization. Yeah.
There is no actual reason why there should be sunlight in here because you do not see any windows. But somehow there is also sunlight in here.
Something strange.
That kind of sums up the entirety of this trip so far.
Next time, we run back to
On Dragon Ball Z.
Speaking of which, do we want to continue? Because I did have at least one request for a shorter session tonight.
I am fine with whatever.
I'm good with either or.
So, Cameo and Argo, what are your 2 cents? We have 2 non-committal answers.
Would prefer shorter session, but if others want to continue, I'd be okay. I could go a little longer.
We have clocked in about an hour, 16 minutes, and 40 some odd seconds.
I feel like we could go a little longer if Argo's okay with it. And Cameo.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about Argo, so if Argo can't do it, then...
Argo is good to go?
I could probably do another half hour.
Okay. So, speaking of Argo, it is now you in the spotlight. You have stepped into exactly the hallway you came from. You know, the first time in this entire...
I was about to say,
Wait.
lucky.
Wait. Idea. I have idea.
We're waiting.
I think I know the skeleton key does. I think I know the skeleton I can't speak. I think I know what it does. Bring Maddie with me. I want to try to go back through the last door I came from. Not the one I was just in. The one that I used to get here. Initially. From the like, you know when I met like the old guy? We went through a door and then we ended up here. I want to try going back through that, see what happens.
The safe door, the vault door is sealed. There is no obvious keyhole. There is no obvious way to open it. The wheel that opened it initially is basically unresponsive if you try to do anything with it.
Alright, I'll find the next door. But I think I have a thing that tethers me.
You have a door at the far end of the hallway from you down the stairs, and then you have the door behind you.
I do want to open this door one more time just to see. Will it take me back? If it takes me back into the dark room, I'll exit back out again, and I'll go to the other room.
So, when you open the door, it takes you a moment, but there is definitely an entire upside-down office room in front of you.
Upside. I haven't seen this before, right?
Nope. You will, if you enter this room, will be walking on the ceiling. This one is also much cleaner than the one that you came from with the inky blackness.
Was it the same door as the inky blackness?
Correct, it was.
Never mind, theory is not correct.
I will say that the key you are holding does kind of stick out like a sore thumb in this environment because it is not exactly what you would consider like normal, even for this place.
Can you
This
describe what the
place
key
has-
looks like? Now that I
So-
can see much better.
So the key, the teeth on it are actually carved out to look like ponies. And it is one side for each race to include alicorns. And the alicorns are carved out for, though you may not know it, all of the living alicorns to include Shadowfire. So for those of you that are fully aware of the time period you came from, he wasn't there previously for all except for Fair's character. So Fair would be able to point out that this was probably made in that time. But you don't know that because amnesia.
I don't know that.
But you do know that there are alicorns, unicorns, pegasi, and earth ponies on this key, carved into the teeth. It is also carved with runes you do not recognize along the shaft of the key, and the head of it does not have anything particular marking-wise, but it is circular.
I'll look around the office room.
We will, for now, just call it the ornate key.
Okay. I'll look around the office room.
So, you're going to spend a lot of time looking up. But from what you can tell, from like whatever that has been left out on desks for you to read, this is literally just them answering calls. This is some sort of call center where they were like trying to do customer servicey type things and like troubleshooting, stuff like that. Not terribly useful information, although you do see one desk slightly off to the side compared to the others that the paper on it says something about the equestrian monarchy, but it's written in a hoof, horn, or mouth writing that you could not easily decipher even standing right side up in front of it, instead of, looking at it on the ceiling, possibly backwards, who knows. It's hard to tell with how badly this person wrote. It honestly looks like they were trying to write in another language. It is that bad. You can attempt to retrieve said paper, but it is a hell of a jump, so you would need to make a strength roll.
Alright, I'll try it. Going to be annoying.
Strength roll and dexterity to try and snag it before you fall.
Okay.
Strength can be with a +1. Dexterity with a -1.
Pass.
Yep. By skin of your teeth. Now the -1 for dexterity to catch it.
Harder.
Congratulations,
Right.
you managed to snag the paper. And what do I want to make you roll to decipher? Let's just roll a regular intelligence to decipher the horrendous writing. Honestly, you'd think they were a doctor in a hurry trying to write this. I feel like Cameo knows what I mean by that.
Yes, I do.
You have not seen bad handwriting until you've seen a doctor rushing to get done with something.
It's the worst thing ever!
So, you're not able to decipher much, but you do see mention of Silver Tongue, Anomaly, and something about a stain.
And Pony probably has better eyes than me, I'll take it.
Okay, so you now have terribly written document. We'll go with terribly written document and ornate key.
You know, I like to imagine if this was an actual video game, the flavor texts that would that would be on these items.
The flavor text for the doctor one is just like, oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck.
Just imagine, like, sweating dude with big eyes. You know what I mean. That reaction tells me yes, you do. But we're going to swap over to the dragons now. Give the dragons some more spotlight time. So, you guys had just pressed through to another room. Did I describe the room? This is the one bad side to, like, party splitting up. I have to remember what I told each one of you.
Not that I remember, which just sucks. I'm sorry.
Good enough. If you guys don't remember I described it, then that works. So, you guys have come into a room that is floor to non-existent ceiling with filing cabinets. Like, these filing cabinets seem to go up forever. And they are set up in such a way that it looks like a maze.
Oh, you got to be shitting me. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this?
Filing cabinets.
I kick one of them. What the fuck is going on here?
I'm not sure.
Just for reference for you, Cosmo, this is like the worst day of your life ever. And that's saying a lot, considering where you live.
Yeah.
Your normal life has gone from kind of shitty to downright undescribably weird. And
it's a trip.
You're just waiting for the thing to come crashing through that tries to kill you. Just a frame of reference.
Alright, I poked the filing cabinet and it's like, I want to go home. I want to go home right now.
I don't even want to go home, and I want to go home. I don't even know what the fuck is going on. Ah! To whatever God is out there. If there is one. The fuck are you doing? Are you high?
Well, technically, one of them is a ghost. One of them is being fed into a God engine. Another one you saw streaking across the sky. I'm not sure where he was going. And the last one's been kind of just unaccounted for. I think that's 4 out of the 5. So 2 of them are unaccounted for. So there's your answer for gods out there. But yeah, what do? You currently have no less than 8 entrances that you could pick from.
I try to stay calm, and I just stare at the floor and mumble to myself about how this floor is normal and how life does not suck right now.
Go ahead and roll a perception.
Alrighty.
The floor is not normal. The floor is gonna eat us. Watch.
Don't jinx it!
I mean, it was trying to do it before to other characters. This isn't a jinx. This is a fucking prophecy at this point.
Let me believe in my own self-delusions at the moment. Perception, where the fudge are you? Area knowledge, performance,
What's this
tech
thing on the
wise.
I don't know if you're
Some
why.
skills, right? Oh no, I see it.
Okay. So, yeah, while you're there moping, you do notice something's been scratched into the floor. You only notice it barely because there is, like, a discarded sheet of paper, blank paper, I will note, just laying over the top of it. What do?
Okay. Wait, what?
There is a blank sheet of paper that is covering something that has been scratched into the floor.
Move the paper aside.
Okay. So, as you inspect the, it seems to be a series of arrows and numbers. So, somebody is going to want to write this down.
Ah! Give me a moment.
I will
Okay.
wait for you to be ready. You ready?
Ready as I'll ever be. I'll throw it.
So, it is 3 upwards arrows.
3 upwards arrows.
Mm-hmm. A pair of left arrows.
2 left arrows. Got it.
5 down.
5 freaking V's in a row.
6 right. Are you ready?
Mhm.
2 left. And 1 more down.
Okay. 3 up, 2 left, 5 down, 6 right, 2 left, 1 down.
Okay.
Can I make a knowledge roll to see if my character could figure out that that this might be the map out?
I mean, logic would dictate that this is the only lead you have.
Alright.
I will also note that there is a line at the very end of that, but you're not entirely sure which direction it is meant to be, because it is a single line. It is
Okay.
slanted. Almost looks like it was turning either left or right, but you cannot tell which for sure.
Okay. Well, I think this moot. Well, I think this might be our way out of here, out of this hellhole, out of this shit show of a building.
So, you going to follow the directions?
Moot is willing to help me, come with me, because I'm not getting separated anymore. Because I need friends. I don't want to be here by myself.
So, Camille, you also ready to follow the directions?
Give me a second. I'm kind of dying right now. I'll be right back.
Okay. So, going to give them a couple minutes, and while we do, fair, I left you off after defeating the thing in a place growing plants, essentially.
I just walked into a terrarium.
Pretty much.
Lion the Witch in wardrobe style.
Feel free to roll perception to search around the room. If you're looking for a particular type of thing, either search or scrounge. Otherwise, just a regular perception, just to like give it a once-over.
Regular. That's all I'm doing. I have no idea what's going on right now.
I am alive. What's happening?
Okay, let me describe this to Fair, and then we'll go back to you guys. So, Fair, there is a door at either side of the room, and from what you could tell, this is just physically impossible because there is no dirt. They don't seem to be like particularly breaking anything. For lack of a better description, it seems to be taking over without actually disturbing anything, and there's sunlight coming from somewhere.
Where's the sunlight coming from? Am I able to see?
Nope, you just know there's sunlight. It is very strange and should not work this way.
Ambient sunlight.
Yep, you can actually feel the warmth of it.
That's not good.
It is not hurting.
I know it doesn't hurt. Sun doesn't hurt me anyway, but...
Yeah, but it feels like this room should be outside, but it is not. But back to the dragons. So, you guys gonna follow your little list of directions?
Yes.
It's the only lead we have. And I lost my art pencil.
So, as you start following the directions to wherever this is leading you, it's very confusing at times. In some of the places, you have to make a few guesses to make sure. But at some point, you come to a place where there's a left, there's a right, and there's a phone in the center. A dial phone. And it is currently ringing. What do?
Well, you can get calls in this place?
Hello, Mr. Anderson.
You do that, David.
What do
I
you?
pick it up, wait, before I pick it up, I was like, okay, listen, I'm gonna pick it up and just listen to whoever the hell's on the other side. If there's absolutely nothing for a while, then I'll just hang it up. Sound good?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you pick it up?
Yes, but I stay quiet to make sure to listen in.
Hello? Is anybody there?
Leads away from it. Holy shit, someone's on the other side!
See if they're real.
Yes. This is a dude here? What's up?
To who? What? It doesn't matter. What's going on? I haven't been able to get in contact with anybody for so long.
We have been having issues with our company lately due to unpredicted storms.
Well, no shit. That's what happens when the anomaly breaks. I shouldn't say anymore. I've already... Wait. You're not... from here, are you? Oh god. Did they send the military after us?
No. Trust me, they couldn't send the military after us. Frankly, there is a lot going on. They're too busy at the moment.
Are we still in the maze?
Unfortunately, yes.
That makes sense. I don't have legs and I can't see, so it makes it very difficult.
Did something attack you by any chance?
Not that I can tell. I haven't moved. In fact, you're the first person that has picked me up in a while.
That makes sense. So, what exactly do you know about the anomaly?
That it
There's
is highly
been
classified, and I don't have any way to verify your credentials, so I can't really tell you much. I can tell you, however, how to get out of here.
You can?
Oh, yeah. You don't want to go left.
Don't want to go left. So we'll have to go right.
I would say take you with me, but I'm pretty sure if you unplug me that, I cease to exist, for lack of a better description, so I would appreciate if you would just put me back where I am and be along your way.
Alright. Thank you very much for this.
You're welcome.
I hang up the phone gently.
Okay. You take the right?
Yes.
So
That was a very nice gun.
as you step through, something that you hadn't noticed previously, but the filing cabinet's actually kind of closed behind you, and you just catch the tail end of the phone saying, "Good thing they didn't go left. That would have gotten them straight to the director." As the cabinets kind of slam closed with a dull thud.
Fuck. I'm not even too mad at that. But honestly, we need to be out of here soon.
So we are
I need to be out of here like hours ago.
We are at an hour 42. Want to call it?
I think that's a good place to stop.
Okay.
Good with me.
So I need Cameo. You scribe for me. We got you two coming out of the cabinet maze. We have Fair in the terrarium office. And Aisling is with Muddy. Make sure you know who's with who, like everybody. Nebula is with Fair, Muddy is with Aisling, and you two have Doc. And Aisling is in the upside down office with the poorly written note.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like I'm playing a game of Clue. Interdimensional Clue is in the upside down office with the candlestick.
Session was fun. I won't be able to join the post game, but everybody there.
Yep. We will be doing post game momentarily. But for those of you that may or may not still be watching, if you enjoyed that, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the notification bell to stay up to date with all the uploads and streams. We will be doing... Tomorrow's session will be the first Heart of Darkness session, so be sure to be there for the start of that campaign. Also, for those of you that are interested in showing more support, there is my Discord, which is free. Go ahead and click the link in the description. That'll get you there. And the Patreon is also linked in the description. I appreciate any and all help that you are able to give through that. It helps. It makes it easier to do what I do. And big thank you to those of you that have already done that, especially my $10 and up tiers. Cameo Shadowness, Sawtooth Waves, and Alexander, my $50 tier. Other than that, everybody have a great evening and drink water.
Hydrate or hydrate.
I was just about to say that.
the bomb got dropped upon us all. And the list of all unknowns is tall. But if there's anything we know, our stubbornness has shown. We'll climb up after any fall. We know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. Leftover ashes in the sky, and the nations, all they do is fight. Yeah, the crown broke all our trust, so I guess it's up to us to save whatever's left of life. We know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. But we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from.